Welcome to my unboxing and first look at the Aspire S7 13.3-inch from Acer. Now I've already had a look at their 11-inch model, which has an aluminum, actually gorgeous aluminum finish on the top of it. But this is like sort of, if the Aspire S7 11-inch is sexy, then this is like, I don't know. It sort of, I don't know what word to use for it anymore, because this is the version that has, it's 13.3-inch. It has Gorilla Glass on the top. It's 1080p, so it's full HD in a 13-inch form factor, which is pretty good pixel density, especially for a notebook because of the distance you're going to be sitting from it. And let's get started here, I guess. So the first thing you find is Verbindung machen mit in Drahtlauf network. So that's probably German. Accessing a wireless network. So they've got a quick start guide for that, as well as showing you a couple cool things about the notebook itself. How do I access charms? How do I get to start? All that good stuff. Actually, there's an episode of NCIX Tech Tips that you can check out. So the start menu thing reminded me of this. But if you want to know how to add the start menu to Windows 8, it's not a bad idea. Lots of people do it. All right, included power brick. So you can already tell that this is a premium machine just because of the way the power brick is white. So they're doing those extra little things that set it apart from other notebooks. It's also a very small power brick, so I'll do the obligatory phone size comparison. So this is an HTC 8X Windows Phone. There you go. So you can see the thickness of the brick versus the phone. Let's go ahead and get that away. Same thing, packaging is very, very sleek and elegant as well. There's the notebook itself. There's also, oh, look at that. It comes with a carrying sleeve. Ooh, very nice. No way. Is this leather? Wow. That's awesome. Velcro. Would have preferred to see a magnet, but inside is kind of a microfibery feeling material. And there you go. It closes like that. You got a nice little Acer logo on there. It's actually, I mean, it's pretty, I shouldn't call it Velcro. I should call it, you know, stick and whatever it's called. But Velcro's a trademark. You're not supposed to call it that. All right, next up, we've got the Acer. Oh, so thin. Oh, love it. Really excited about this. Okay, but first, the boring things. So in here, we've got how do I access charms, again, as well as a quick start guide. All right, then we've got some warranty information. So it has a 1-year parts and labor warranty, software support. Oh, they do software support for 90 days. That's kind of nice, actually. Okay. And more accessories, all the compartments. Comes with a mouse. Okay, so that's a wireless mouse, uses 2 AAA batteries. Also comes with, what's in here? Oh, adapters. All right, I do like to see stuff like this included. It actually kind of drives me crazy. When manufacturers are going to go and use a proprietary connector for something, at least have the decency to include the adapter that you need so that you can get the functionality that your notebook is supposed to have. So if you're going to have like a weird VGA adapter, then go ahead and give me one so that I actually have it. All right. So the thinness of this machine is extremely impressive, especially given that it is a touchscreen notebook. So that adds some width to it just right off the top because that extra interface layer is there and does take up space. Holy crap, it's thin. And I mean, you can see the tooling on it is immaculate. There's absolutely no gap whatsoever between, actually, okay, well, there's a gap, but it's because there's a paper thing in there. So if I go ahead and take that out, oh, wow. That's like, I think this is paper, but it's probably the most expensive paper I've ever encountered. Okay, so there you go. So there's no gap whatsoever in the tooling on the notebook itself. Everything is even. This is one of the things that you can check for and how you can tell a premium notebook from a less premium notebook. It's, it takes a lot more time and a lot more effort and much tighter manufacturing tolerances to do something like that. Now I'm going to do a flex test with this thing, and you guys are going to like this too, so watch this. You can see the amount of flex there is to this notebook in spite of how thin it is. Part of that is due to the, here we go, double-sided Gorilla Glass on the display itself. So there's a Gorilla Glass panel here, Gorilla Glass 2 rather, with a white, with like a white piece behind it. So you've also got sort of a shiny silver Acer logo there, Gorilla Glass here, and then Gorilla Glass 2 again here on the inside. So it means that you've got that sort of that buttery smooth feel that you get with Gorilla Glass. It also means that the notebook itself is going to be more durable than notebooks that are not using Gorilla Glass. The panel, very nice. The panel is, I don't think the brightness is even all the way up either. So let's go have a look there. Settings, brightness, crank it up. Yep, there we go. So the panel is presumably IPS, whatever it is, it's not TN. Viewing angles are outstanding. So I'm gonna let Diesel have a quick look at what the colors look like straight on. You got that? Got that, okay. Now we're gonna go ahead. How far does it go? All the way down 180 degrees. So if you wanna lay this flat, whether it's to work on it from one side while you're showing something, what you're working on from the other side, or whether it's to carry around and use it more like a tablet. So I'll show you that after, but okay, now let's have a look at the viewing angles from the side. Oh, how's that color distortion over there, Diesel? Do you see anything? Yeah, I'm getting the head shake. Looks absolutely beautiful. So, oh, it goes more than 180 degrees. Check this out. So it goes all the way down to all the way back here, meaning that you can actually kind of use it like a tablet if you wanted to. And what's great about this one and the 11-inch model, this is something I really liked about the 11-inch, is that it's light enough that you can comfortably use it with one hand because of the aluminum construction in spite of the glass up here. So remember guys, an Ultrabook label only applies to notebooks that meet the requirements in terms of battery life, thickness, weight, as well as security features and a number of other things from Intel. They also have to have a certain level of performance. So we're gonna go ahead and do a quick sleep test here. So we'll shut her down. And ready, wake up. There we go. So they have to have a certain level of performance in terms of sleep, and in spite of the 2 pieces of glass up here, it still is well within that weight requirement, and it is extremely light. The keyboard itself uses an EL backlight, so it's light sensing, which means it's only going to turn on at a brightness level that is actually needed. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn it on manually now. If I can find the hotkey to do that, which I am having a little bit of trouble with here. Function, oh, is it on? Oh, it's on. Oh, that looks so cool. Ah! Okay, lights off, guys. Check this out. There we go. So it's got a bit of a blue hue to it. Can you see that, Diesel? He's given me the somewhat gesture. How about now? Now we got it. Absolutely beautiful. So function keys can be used to increase the brightness or decrease the brightness. So you've got a, looks like, not that many brightness levels. Just 2 brightness levels, but it's either super dim, which is like this, for use in a very, very dark environment where you don't want it to be overpowering, or you can brighten it up, and that is a very unique looking backlight. So you actually can't see much around the outside of the chiclet keys like you normally would, but it shows through not only on one color, but also the blue color keys as sort of a subdued, bluey kind of light. Looks very, very, very beautiful. So there's a shot of the notebook before I turn the lights back on. Ready, guys? And a 3, 2, 1, lights back on. Thank you. All right, now I haven't even talked about specs at all, and I wrote them down on something, but I forget. So it's a 3517U, which is a 1.9 gigahertz Core i7, and it's got 4 gigs of RAM, a 256 gig SSD in this particular model here, wireless and 4-cell polymer battery, and then in terms of I/O, we've got power here, as well as HDMI here, as well as a headphone microphone jack here, power button here. All right, there's speakers, stereo speakers on this guy. And so nothing on the front whatsoever. Then on this side, are you catching all this? You got all this in focus? Yeah, I'm getting the nod, excellent. So we've got 2 USB 3.0 ports. One of them is charging capable, so it just means it can deliver more current. We've also got an SD card reader. Then on the back, very similarly to the other S7, we've got ventilation ports. And finally on the bottom, we've got more ventilation ports here, and then we've also got those 2 speakers that I pointed out, one of them when we were going around the other side. So you see the bottom is actually kind of a plasticky material here. So that helps to do a couple things. Number one is it saves on the cost a little bit. It also makes it more environmentally friendly to manufacture. I don't know if you guys know this, but the amount of wasted material and the amount of environmental impact on unibody shells is actually higher than manufacturing notebooks in layers. So there's a little tidbit for you. It doesn't lose any of the rigidity though. So you can see even actually here, this is even better. So without the benefit of the Gorilla Glass, this is my rigidity test. Check that out. Yeah, you're gonna see some flex. I'm also putting a lot of pressure on it. That's about as much flex as you're gonna get out of that chassis. And part of that is, I'm gonna let Diesel sort of try to focus in here, is see how thick of a piece of aluminum they've used for this single slab all across the top. Can you see that? So with my finger for comparison, that's what gives it the build quality. That's what makes a notebook like this extremely expensive to manufacture. So we're gonna put this down again. I'm just gonna show you guys those adapters. So one of these adapters is a USB LAN adapter. So that's just for if you want to, I don't know, plug in, not use wireless because wireless is not that great. And then this guy right here is a VGA adapter that actually plugs into that HDMI out port. So that'll be either micro HDMI out or VGA out, depending on what you want, making this suitable for professional use, because I've criticized notebooks for not including VGA, especially ultra portables where they'd be suitable for business, except that a lot of boardrooms only have old VGA projectors and you're going to need something that's actually able to plug in, so having an analog output is an important thing. I think that pretty much wraps it up, other than that this is one of the most, I mean, okay, here, I don't want to give sort of, you know, too much detail about anything, but the president of NCIX actually chose for his own personal notebook an Aspire S7. So there you go. He can have pretty much whatever notebook he wants, has touched pretty much any notebook out there and used it, and he sent out a memo that went, "This is the best notebook I've ever owned." So there you go. And I'm inclined to agree with them. They're absolutely gorgeous. I mean, even things like the hinges. Check this out. Let's do another flex test. I don't usually do this one, but I'm going to take the very top of this notebook and ream on it. Can you see that okay? Hinge is everything. In manufacturing notebooks, the hinge is so important. That's it. Thank you for checking out my unboxing and first look at the S7 13-inch. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos. So I was reboxing it, and the thing just kind of fell open, and I was like, huh? What in the heck is this? So apparently this one comes with an extended battery pack. So this adds another 2500 milliamp hour battery pack, and then all you do to mount it to the bottom of the S7, they've actually put a lot of thought into this. So it has like a nice rubber non-scratching piece here that pretty much covers the entire thing. So you basically go, okay, you put that kind of, yeah, there we go. So it clips onto the back with a little clip right there. Can you see that, Diesel? Yep, just clips in there. Then you've got a couple of rubber protected screws here so that those also won't scratch the bottom, even if you put them in wrong the first time. So you just go ahead and screw that on. And then this is a very fun, I mean, I've seen a lot of different extended battery designs, some of which kind of stick out the back of the notebook and some of which kind of raise the notebook, but this is very functional. I like this because it doesn't interfere with any of the cooling. It doesn't look stupid, especially from this side. Okay, from this side it looks a little weird, but it doesn't look stupid. And then it also acts as kind of a notebook stand. So now you've got a slight angle to the notebook, so typing is still comfortable and all of that good stuff that you would expect, except now you have an extended battery. So you just plug your power adapter in here instead of here, and then that little hole right there that I paused on when I was doing the initial video, because I was a little confused about, goes like this. So that's just a stabilizer for the DC in pass-through from the battery pack itself. There you go. And then it just tucks back in there quite nicely. So it's even better than